Hi there. A little while ago, I received a query from somebody wanting to know what yoga poses a person who had suffered a stroke a few years ago could do. And that inspired this class. I thought it would also be useful for anybody who possibly has a lack of balance for one reason or another, or limited mobility, or movement restrictions, or whatever the case may be. So the entire class is seated on a chair, and I hope that it can be of use to you. Please make sure before you do any of these movements that they are safe for you. So please check with your therapist or your doctor. And as with anything, if you feel any pain or dizziness, please stop. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to need is a chair. I'm using a dining room chair, so you want something that's relatively hard, not with a really cushioned seat, just to give you that support. And of course, you want it to be stable and safe, so nothing on casters or anything like that. So let's begin by sitting up nice and straight in our chair, away from the back of the chair so that you are working through the core to hold yourself upright, and just place the hands on the knees, relax the shoulders, and close the eyes. Your feet are about hip width apart, just resting on the ground, and bring your focus and your attention to your breath. Inhaling and exhaling. So feel your belly expand as you inhale, and as you exhale, that navel moves back towards the spine. So when we breathe like this, breathing into the belly, we're creating room for the lungs to inflate. The diaphragm moves down as we inhale. Space is created in the chest for the lungs to fill with air. And as we exhale, the diaphragm moves back up and the lungs empty. So we always take this time in the beginning of our practice to connect with our breath, to allow our minds to slow down, to set our intention for our practice, to remain mindful. And just to come into the right frame of mind. Observe your body as you sit here, noticing how you feel, noticing if there's any niggles or tightness. And slowly open the eyes, ready to begin your practice. Remember to keep this connection with the breath throughout. So let's start off at the top of the body. We're going to just stretch our neck a bit. So bring the right ear down to the right shoulder, stretching out down the left side of the neck. Try not to hunch the shoulder up, keep it down. If you like, you can take this left hand and just bring it underneath the seat of your chair and gently hold on to the seat of your chair, which also just helps to bring that shoulder down and create this lovely length. Breathing and enjoying. Take your right hand and just help your head move back up to neutral. Hands on the thighs again, and then bring the left ear down to the left shoulder. Same thing, keeping those nice deep full breaths, not shrugging this right shoulder up. And again, if you like, you can move that right hand underneath the seat of the chair and just encourage that right shoulder to move downwards, increasing that stretch, breathing. Very nice. Again, bring your left hand up to the side of your head and gently assist your head to come back up to center, hands back on the thighs. So we're going to now do a little bit of an adapted cat-cow pose to get some movement through the spine, and it's also a nice gentle way of working the core, which can help increase stability and balance. So inhale, bringing this chest forward and the shoulders back, opening the heart, and as you exhale, sink back through the back, feel the back of your spine touching the back of the chair, pulling that navel back towards the spine as far as you can, emptying the lungs, the chest closes, the shoulders are rolling forward, inhaling, opening the chest, really arching through the spine, exhaling, moving back, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling, and coming back up to center, sitting nice and tall again with that long spine, breathing into the belly, very nice. Now we're going to do a little bit of a twist. So cross your left leg over the right. You can use your hands to help you if you need to. And you can already feel a nice stretch here on the outside of the left buttock. So bring your right hand to the outside of your left leg and turn to the back. You can take your hand or your arm rather over the back of your chair and just encourage that twist around to the back. Exhaling as you twist. Inhale as you just soften. Exhale, increase the twist. Inhale, allowing that spine to become more neutral, and then exhaling again to the back. Allow your gaze just to follow the turn of the body. Inhale, back to center, and uncross your leg. And now right leg over the left. Again, just use your hand to help your leg up if you need to, and bring that left hand to the outside of the right leg. Right arm moves behind you and can just hook over the back of the chair. Inhale as you straighten your spine. Exhale as you twist towards the right. Inhale, releasing. Exhale, twisting. You just move within the range of motion that your body allows. Inhale, straightening. Exhale, twisting. We're just encouraging some movement through the spine, through the torso. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, twisting. Inhale. Bring your arms to the front and uncross the legs. So our next stretch, we're going to stretch along the side of the body. Bring your left hand underneath the seat of your chair so you can give yourself just a little bit of stability, and press down with your feet. If you press down with your feet lightly, you're going to start feeling these muscles in your legs activating. Bring your right arm alongside the ear Part of my arm has gone out of shot now. Inhale, and then as you exhale, lean across to that left side. So I only want you stretching through the torso of the body. You can really support yourself with this left hand on the seat. Breathe. What we tend to do when we're in a position that's uncomfortable is hold our breath. So what's very important here is to keep the connection with the breath and keep breathing through the stretch. Inhale as you bring that body back up to the center and drop that right hand down to the seat. Again, get a nice grip on the seat just to stabilize yourself. Inhale, bring that left arm overhead, and exhale as we lean across to the right now, leaning down on that right hand, just steadying the body. Feeling that lovely stretch up the left side of the body. Inhale, coming back up to center, and exhale, dropping the hands back down. So again, you're sitting nice and tall. We're not leaning against the back of the chair. I want you to cross your left foot onto your right thigh. Use your hands to help you if you need to, so that you have this ankle resting on the top of the right thigh. Already you're going to be feeling a stretch to the hip here. So if that's enough for you, just sit there and breathe. Breathe into the stretch. Don't allow that breathing to become shallow. Breathe nice and deep as you feel it starting to surrender, to subside. If you want to increase the stretch, inhale and exhale as you bring that chest forwards, keeping the back as straight as possible. And you're going to feel that stretch really starting to intensify. Breathe. Inhale, sit back up. And now while you've got your foot up here, we're going to work the ankle a little bit. So grab that foot with your hand and just start to bring that foot back and then forward. So a lot of balance problems are caused by instability in the ankles and in the hips. So if we can start getting them to move and becoming more mobile, then we allow them to become a little bit stronger and more stable. And now gently bringing the foot up and down. Again, don't pull too hard. We're just encouraging a nice gentle movement through the joint. And now begin rotating that joint. So moving the foot in circles with the hand. And then in the opposite direction. Very nice. And cross the leg, again helping your leg back down to the ground if you need to. And then move to the other side. So cross the right ankle over this left thigh. So just picking the leg up if you need to. And again, we're going to start just with this nice stretch through the hip. So this is something you can do as often as you like. If that's enough for you as before, Just allow that release, breathe, focus on the breath. If that's quite easy for you and you're not feeling a lot of a stretch through the hip, just bring that chest forwards towards the lower leg and you'll feel that stretch starting to increase. Inhale, sit back up, and then again, we're just going to work on this ankle a little bit while we have the foot up here. So taking hold of that foot with the left hand and moving that foot forwards and backwards. So we're just getting some dorsiflexion here through the ankle. So remember that with the body, there's a saying that motion is lotion and rest is rust. So the more that we are able to move our joints, the more synovial fluid is produced by the body, which makes the joints more movable. And the less we move, the less fluid, the less mobile they become. So when our movement is restricted, whether that's by whatever factor causes it, it's almost like a catch-22 situation. So the less we move, the less we become able to move. So just by starting to encourage that movement, we start to make the joints a little bit more mobile, and then we start being able to move. Okay? So we've moved that foot up and down, and now in some nice gentle circles. Breathing all the time. And the opposite direction. Deep breaths. And back to a nice neutral position. Uncross those legs. Just helping your leg if you need to. And sitting nice and upright. The next movement that we're going to do is one that I did a lot when I had my injury. And it's really, really good for just starting to activate here through the hamstring, through the back of the leg. So you will need a small towel or a cloth if you have a smooth floor like this. If you have a carpeted floor, you're going to want something that doesn't create a lot of friction. A paper plate should work quite well, something that's smooth. So get your cloth and place it on the ground and put your foot on top of it. And with control and slowly, you are going to extend through the knee and push that foot away from you. And then flex through the knee, bring that foot back towards the body. So not only are we getting some movement through the knee here, so that it's operating in its hinge motion, opening and closing, but you are actually getting the hamstrings to contract as you move that foot back towards the spine, and we're getting some contractions through the quadriceps as we extend that knee. So this is a really lovely exercise to do, and you can just do this anytime you like while you're sitting, building up mobility through the knee and also some strength through the muscles. Inhaling as you extend, exhaling as you flex. So you compare your breathing with your movement. It'll help you also just to keep your mind on your breath. One more time. And then you're going to swap sides. So right foot onto that cloth or towel or paper plate or whatever it is that you use. And inhale. Inhale as you extend through the knee. Exhale as you bring that foot back towards the body, flexing through the knee. And do this slowly and with control. It's about really targeting and focusing on the muscles that we're wanting to work. Inhaling as you extend, exhaling as you flex through that joint. So be mindful of what you're doing. Send your mind to that part of the body that's doing the work. So really focus on the front of the thigh contracting as you extend through the knee. And then focus on the back of that thigh contracting as you flex through that knee and bring that foot back towards the body. Inhale and exhale as you bring that back. And then you can get rid of that and place those feet nice and securely again on the floor. Our next pose, we're going to work a little bit through the hip flexor. So sit nice and securely on your chair. Again, if you want a little bit more stability, just hold on to the seat of your chair with your hands. Otherwise, leave your palms resting on the tops of your thighs. And keeping your foot flexed, bringing that knee up off the ground and lowering it back down. Don't worry about bringing it up too high. And then the other side and lowering it down. Try and keep the trunk stable. And centered as you perform this motion. Again, don't worry about bringing it up too high. If all you can manage is a slight movement of that foot up off the ground, that's great. Just practice like that. And what you may find is as those hip flexors start to strengthen, gradually you'll be able to bring that foot up higher and higher. But what's most important is keeping that stability, making sure that you're safe, and supporting yourself with this core so that the trunk is secure and stable. Exhale as you bring that knee up. Inhale as it lowers back to the ground. Exhale as the other knee comes up. Inhale as you lower it. Once more on each side. Very nice. Next movement is very much dependent on your strength and your balance. We're going to just start practicing doing a little bit of yogi's chair. Ultimately, we want to work on being able to stand up and then sit down with control, using all these muscles in our legs and our hips to perform that movement. Apologies, I've cut the top of my head off when I stand up. Now, to start with that, we just want to start building up the strength and the stability through the hips and the legs. So you will need a helper to stand in front of you if you do need that stability or that little bit of security or balance. Just coming up off the chair and holding. Just as long as you can, breathing. And then sitting back down, dropping the hands, and taking a few breaths. So come up just as high as you can, hold for just as long as you can. Exhale, coming back up off the chair, holding onto that helper or onto a stable surface, pressing down through those feet. So you've got a nice stable and strong support that you're standing on. Exhaling, sitting back down onto the chair, taking a few breaths, recovering. Inhaling, exhaling, standing back up again. If you can stand without support and hold yourself here, it's wonderful. Do that. Exhale, sitting back down. And breathe. So that's just starting to build up a little bit of strength and stability through the lower part of the body. If it is accessible to you to transition onto the ground and it's easy for you to get up again, then come down onto the ground and lie on your back and do a Shavasana. You can follow the Shavasana video that I've done. I'll put the link up there. You don't need to do the twist beforehand. Otherwise, just stay on your chair. You can sit back a little bit if you like and lean back against the chair just so that you have that support now, and you can relax slightly through the core. Place your hands on your thighs and relax the shoulders and close the eyes. And just breathe your normal breath, but observe your breath. Relaxing through the body, through the shoulders. So one of the things in yoga that's very important is that connection that we make with the breath and the connection we make with the mind and the body. And this is something that's important when you do have restricted movement and you're wanting to increase your movement or improve on your movement. The body has neural pathways, which most of you will understand. So the signal moves from the brain to the muscle. If we have some sort of incident that disrupts the movement of that signal, then we lose that movement or that flow of message. So we want to begin to rebuild these neural pathways. And we begin to rebuild them by practicing that movement and practicing that movement over and over again. The more that we do the movement, the stronger those neural pathways become. And having that connection of the mind, thinking about the movement, being very aware of the movement, really helps a lot in the building of those pathways. So we can help ourselves be present by focusing on the breath. Allow your mind to slow down. Relax. Focus on the movement of breath in and out of the nose. Notice how cool the air is as you inhale, and by contrast, how warm it is as you exhale. As you inhale, imagine all those restless thoughts being gathered together, all tension in the body being drawn to one place, so that as you exhale, they are released. All resistance removed from the body. Letting go of any thoughts as we focus on the breath. And then slowly opening the eyes. Setting your intentions for the rest of the day. Thank you for joining me with your practice today. Take care. Namaste.